Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sew with Sarah. If you are joining us, make sure that you say hi to us in the comments. We love interacting with you guys there. And I'm really excited for this episode because if you are over in our Facebook group already, you saw that this week we announced our Lucky Charm Challenge. So that's this cute little block right here. It's a 5-inch block with the cute Lucky Charm applique, and then also some shamrock quilting on that background fabric as well. So this is a really fun one. The lining is even done in the hoop, and we're about to stitch it out, but I'm going to tell you a little more about it first. So this is a challenge. We're calling it a challenge because you can go and get this block for free on our website right now, and you can access it, download the block, stitch it out, and then share your picture with us over in our Facebook group, and you can be entered to win at the end of our challenge. So make sure that you go grab this and stitch it out. We love when you guys share your pictures with us. We love to see what you create. You guys are all very creative, so that's really fun for us. But now that we've covered what the challenge is, we're going to hop over to the machine and we're going to stitch this block out together. Now we're over at the machine and I have our battleizer, which is our batting and stabilizer combination, in my hoop, and I have a water soluble thread in the needle, and this first step will just be a placement stitch. The second step is to add optional wool batting if you want to add some dimension to your block. Since I'm going to just use this block as a cute little coaster or mug rug on my desk, I'm not going to be adding the wool batting, so I skipped it. And now for the third step, we're going to align our background fabric. We'll align that over our block, and then still with the water soluble thread and the needle, we'll sew the tack down. And this step will also sew the placement stitch for the applique. For step 4, we'll take our shamrock fabric and I'm going to align it over the placement stitch. And then still with the water soluble thread and the needle, we'll sew the tack down. You can see I kind of lift up on all the sides to make sure everything is covered before I start my machine. Now that we've got our fabric tacked down, I'm going to use our hoop scissors mini and I'm going to trim close to the tack down stitching. Now we're moving on to step 5, and we'll still keep the water soluble thread and the needle, and we're going to align our shamrock 2 fabric and tack this down with water soluble thread, and then we'll trim close to the tack down stitching with our hoop scissors mini. Okay, now I've got everything trimmed and we're on step 6. And for step 6, I placed a thread that matches my background fabric in the needle, and we'll sew the shamrock quilting in the background. Now we're moving on to step 7, that will sew the satin stitch around the outside edge of our shamrock. So you'll just do that using a thread that matches your shamrock fabric. All right, now we're moving on to our next satin stitch, which is for the center of our shamrock, and we'll do that using a thread that matches our fabric. Now we just have 2 more steps left. So for step 9, you'll use the thread color of your choice, and it will sew some detail stitching on the inside of our shamrock. So for our very last step, we'll take our lining fabric and we're going to place it right side down over the block. We'll just make sure it covers it evenly. And then with a neutral thread in the needle, we'll sew the tack down. Now that we're done over at the machine, we just have a few more things to finish up our cute little Lucky Charm coaster. So what I need to do now is use our Trimmer by George tool, so our acrylic ruler with that crimped metal edge, and I'm going to remove the battleizer up to the basting stitch on all sides. So I'll just take that metal lip, shimmy it up under the fabric on my block, and then lay it flat. I'll give it a gentle tug just to make sure none of my fabric is sticking out. And then with a 60mm rotary cutter, I'm going to trim right along that metal lip. And I'll do that on the other 3 sides as well. This will just remove any of the bulk from being inside there and give it a cleaner look. All right, now that I have all that bulk removed, I'm just going to trim a 1/4 inch from the basting stitch on all sides. Okay, now just a couple more steps. So first I'm just going to clip the corners, and then I'm going to turn it right side out, and I will press those raw edges in, and then I'll head over to my machine and I'll just top stitch the opening closed and around the rest of my Lucky Charm coaster, and then we'll show you the final product. Alrighty guys, here is our final block that we just stitched out together. So here are our 2 versions of the block. We can't wait to see what you create with this. So run and go grab this block from our website right now and stitch it out and share it with us. You will be entered to win if you share it over in our Facebook group, and we will be drawing winners 2 weeks from today. So on St. Patrick's Day, we'll be drawing the winners for our Lucky Charm Challenge. I hope you guys had fun stitching this block out with me this week, and I will see you next Friday.